She walked out of her own wedding and nobody came after her. Not her mother, not her best friend, not one person, not even the 100 people who had just watched the man she loved take a microphone and reduce 10 years of her life into a sentence. Nobody moved. And standing outside that venue, in the quiet heat of the afternoon, Ada Okafor understood something that would take her months to fully unpack. Leaving wasn't the worst part. The silence was. Because silence means people already knew. Silence means she was the last one to find out she was the punchline. She was 29. Careful. Loyal. Patient. She had loved one man with everything she had. And now it felt like she had just been slowly losing for 10 years. 3 months later. 7:14 a.m. Ada stands in a pharmacy buying paracetamol she doesn't need. The pharmacist looks at her with that soft pity she's been collecting for weeks. Ada smiles. Not because she feels okay, but because she's practiced this her whole life, arranging her face so nobody asks questions she doesn't want to answer. She leaves. Outside, the morning light is too beautiful for how she feels. Then she sees it, a bride, laughing, free, unaware. Ada watches for 4 seconds, and something shifts, not loudly, not dramatically, just a quiet internal decision. She keeps walking, but something about her has changed. We need to go back, not to the wedding, to the morning before it. 5:47 a.m. Ada is sitting by the window in her robe, cold tea, wedding dress behind her, and she isn't nervous. She isn't excited. She's just tired. Her mother, Grace, appears in the doorway. She looks at Ada like she wants to say something important, something heavy. She sits beside her. I need to. The door bursts open. Chisholm walks in, loud, bright, filling the room. And Grace stops. She closes her mouth. Ada notices. But like always, she files it away under nothing. She was wrong. 2 weeks before the wedding, a woman named Laura shows up at Chisholm's house, crying, asking one question. Where is the wedding being held? Chisholm tells her. She tells herself she's helping, giving Emeka a chance to fix things quietly. She tells herself a lot of things. The wedding. Ada walks down the aisle. Something feels off. She notices it, and keeps walking anyway. That's who she is. She keeps going, even when something doesn't feel right. The doors open. Laura walks in. For minutes. That's all it takes. A pregnancy claim. Tension. Whispers. And then, Emeka takes the microphone. Ada watches his face. Not shocked. Not confused. Deciding. And then he says, this marriage was an arrangement. Not love. 7 words. She counts them. Twice. Then, she does something nobody expects. She doesn't cry. She doesn't argue. She simply says calmly, thank you for being here. Hands over her bouquet. And walks out. Alone. Outside, she sits on the curb. Still. Not crying. Just empty. Then someone sits beside her. A stranger. Toby. He doesn't ask questions. Doesn't perform sympathy. Just sits. After a while, he says, I have another water. She laughs. A real laugh. Small. Unexpected. Why do you have 2? I run hot. She takes it. And for the first time that day, something softens. 5 weeks later. A bookstore. They meet again. Water bottle guy, he says. I remember, she replies. They talk. And Ada realizes something strange. She's not performing. Not adjusting. Not managing how she's perceived. She's just talking. He says, some plants don't thrive in certain environments. That's not failure. It's information. She pauses. Are you still talking about the plant? Mostly. She laughs. Fully this time. She tells herself, not yet. But something in her is already changing. Meanwhile, her mother finally speaks. About her past. About Ada's father. About a powerful family name. And the truth. Emeka may have known who she was from the beginning. That their entire relationship might have been built on that. Not love. Access. Ada sits still. Not crying. Just recalculating her entire past. Then Chisholm confesses. In the kitchen. Casual. Accidental. A detail she shouldn't know. Ada stops. How do you know that? Silence. And in that silence, truth. She knew. Before the wedding. And said nothing. I need you to go, Ada says. Not yelling. Not emotional. Just done. Now Ada is 3 things at once. The woman left at the altar. The woman who may have been used. And the woman betrayed by her closest friend. She writes in her notebook, I have been surrounded by people who loved me in ways that were convenient for them. Pause. Then, but I am still here. 2 weeks later, Emeka shows up, tired, regretful. Lara lied, he says. I know, Ada replies. He tries to explain. She stops him. You don't need to explain. You made a choice. I saw it. Silence. Then she says, the question isn't if there's someone else. He looks confused. The question is, do I want to keep waiting for you to choose me? Pause. I don't. He leaves. And something in her settles. Not healed, but aligned. Then comes the letter. From a grandfather she never met. Offering inheritance. Name. Power. She doesn't rush. She sits with it. For the first time in her life. She doesn't react. She chooses. She goes to see Toby. I don't know who I am without being what people need, she says. He replies, then maybe this year is for figuring that out. She exhales. That sounds lonely. It might be. Pause. You're not going to tell me to come back when I'm ready? No. Why? Because I'm not waiting to be chosen either. That hits her. Deep. Because for the first time, someone isn't trying to claim her. Just meet her. She rebuilds. Slowly. With her mother. With herself. With boundaries. She meets Chisholm again. Not to forgive, but to acknowledge. 17 years isn't nothing, she says. But neither is what you did. They sit in the middle of both truths. And for once, Ada doesn't rush resolution. She writes back to her grandfather. No performance. No politeness. Just truth. One meeting. No conditions. She sends it. Without overthinking. Final scene. Morning light. Her apartment. Her plant now growing. Her notebook. She writes, I stopped waiting to be chosen, and I'm still here. Pause. I thought that would break me. It didn't. And here's the question. Not about Ada. About you. Who taught you that you have to earn being loved? Who convinced you that being chosen is your goal? And if everything Ada did right still led to being left, then maybe the problem was never her. If this story resonates with you, even a little, don't just scroll past it. Like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe to Elite Story TV so you'll be notified every time we drop a new video.